The real estate market has shifted and now you are a seller and it's no longer a seller's market. What are some expectations and things that you need to know when selling your house? So no, I'm not gonna give you 2 bullet points, 3, 5, whatever. I'm gonna rattle off some of the biggest things that I'm trying to tell my sellers right now to better prepare them for this market. 1, you're probably gonna be sitting a little bit. Call your realtor with some more time. If you're thinking that you're gonna sell 2, 3, 5, 6 months from now, yes, you should be making those phone calls now to prepare and talk through timelines on when maybe you should be listing. Please, please, please don't go back and look at what your neighbors sold their house for 2, 3, and 6 months ago. That was a completely different market. Really, a completely different market. You are in a different market and you are going to need to price your house accordingly. So be sure to review your comps, look at all of the data with your agent, and make sure that you are staying competitive with other people out there. Of course, we'll make adjustments if your house is super special with all the super special things, but typically you want to be extremely competitive. So be prepared in time on market, be prepared to list your house accordingly. And even though you've listed it accordingly and or even aggressively, be prepared for buyers to ask and then ask for some more and then ask for some more. And yes, this isn't fun to convey, but if I give you the information and you have time to marinate on it, now you won't be so emotionally upset when, well, all the requests come in, because sometimes I just get sellers and they get super upset. Remember that the buyers are sitting in a buyer's market. They're sitting a little bit more in the driver's seat. And so yes, it is very, very common for an offer to come across with a buyer asking for some closing cost assistance and the home warranty, and maybe a little bit more money so that they could buy down the interest rate. These are common, and regardless of the house that you own, these are things that you're gonna be going up against. Preparing your home. We have ventured way out of the market of just taking pictures, throwing it on the MLS and getting 20 offers over a weekend. We are not there yet. We need to be paying attention to the details, which means when your agent schedules professional photography, and let's just stop there. If your agent isn't doing professional photography, they're not the agent for you. Photography is really important right now because people will slide past your home in just that one little swipe if your photos aren't captivating. So having professional photography done is really, really huge. Making sure that you're conveying all of those things that makes your house special and then capturing those moments in the photos are really gonna make a huge, huge difference. Now let's go into the fun part, showing your house. I'm joking, because that's really not the fun part. That's the non-fun part. People invading your space, especially when you're still living there. But you need to be accommodating. Every single showing counts. I always relate it to fishing. So I can't typically bring you an offer unless I've cast the bait, and the bait and getting that out in the water is typically the showing. I can't get a nibble, maybe some interest, or a bite, an offer, if I'm not casting the bait. So we need to get as many showings as possible, which means even if you're in the middle of cooking dinner, turn off the oven and be like, yep, we can make that happen. Every showing really counts. You need to be moldable and flexible to buyers and buyers agents on showing your house. Yes, there are ways that realtors can give restrictions like, hey, can we get an hour or 2 hour notice? And we do. That still doesn't stop an agent from saying, I'm sitting outside of your house. Can I see it? So be prepared to be flexible and moldable. We've already talked about some concessions and maybe more aggressive list price, but when that offer comes in, I think this may be one of the #1 things that I can tell you. Try your hardest to remove emotion from reviewing the offer. It is an offer. We're gonna go about it in a deliberate manner. How much money is it that you're really looking to net? We are gonna go through that. Sometimes when these emotions overtake, almost logic walks itself out of the room. Try to stay emotionally disconnected for a moment, review the offer with your agent, and constantly ask yourself what it is that you're trying to achieve. Typically, it's a certain net sheet and sometimes combined with a timeline. And even if there seems to be a gap in between those things, let your agent do the work of trying to bridge that gap and coming to a middle ground. Here's one really non-fun statistic that you should probably know as a seller right now. 1 out of 5 buyers are actually backing out of transactions. Just like I just told you not to be emotional when reviewing an offer, buyers are fairly emotional in this market as well. Who isn't? With the interest rates fluctuating every single day, their confidence in purchasing in this market fluctuates as well. You give them one thing like a leaky water heater or something, and that's all they need to run away. So just know that even though you open escrow and accept a contract, it's really not over until it's over. And be prepared for the potential of some more curveballs during the transaction. I'm gonna leave you with this final thought. If you don't get a lot of traction in the beginning, definitely schedule a time to sit down with your agent and reevaluate what's happening. This market is shifting quickly, and I'm always telling my sellers that you want to be in front of the avalanche. So the market is shifting fast. I don't want to be on the back side of that. I want to be on the front side of that. If you find yourself sitting on the market for 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and you're not making any kind of change or any kind of adjustment, you're probably wrong. And it's time to re-strategize with your agent to see how we can get your home sold. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. I know that I discussed and reviewed a lot of things that aren't typically fun to talk about, but I think knowledge is power, and setting those expectations are really huge. Most people just wanna know. Tell me what it is, doc. Tell me what it is, realtor. Let's go into this with all of the knowledge base. That way, when these curveballs are thrown at you, you are ready for them. I hope that you truly enjoyed this video. Be sure to do the like, the subscribe, and all that fun YouTube stuff. And at the end of the day, remember, who's your homegirl? I'm your homegirl. Bye.